You read manga? Or you at least used to?
I used to read manga, but I do still read one of them weekly whenever it comes out. We talk about it at work all the time, Levi.
Not to me.
I know it's a
You talk...
front end thing.
Yeah, you
The
talk
other
about
people.
it with other people. Wow. I thought you barely even knew what a manga was.
No, dude, I
Let
used to
alone
be
read
mega
it.
weeb. I know this goes against everything we talked about in episode 2.
I know. Well, like, was it just that you read, you didn't really watch?
I used to watch, and then I said that's way too. The episodes are too long, and
Yeah.
you watch a 22-minute episode, and it's like that's like 12 new minutes of content because it's always like previously on, and then it's like next on.
You're
And
like
it's just like
you're like a reformed anime watcher. Like
yeah,
it's like when somebody decides not to be part of a religion anymore, but they're really versed on it because they grew up their whole life with it. Like it's like that. Like they read the entire Bible. You read all the manga. And you're
I guess
reformed now. You've changed.
you've changed.
Yeah. Well, welcome to podcast episode 3. I am a podcast with.
I am a podcast.
We have decided to call ourselves. What do we call it again? Briefly famous.
Briefly famous.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I liked it. It kind of sounds a little bit like a band name. Perhaps.
Yo, bro. You hear Briefly Famous's new song?
Punk rock for sure. It's a punk rock band name.
Punk rock.
That is a punk rock band name.
Circle Pit Mosh Pit. I like
it.
bricks.
Yeah. Yeah, we got like a brick thing going on. Well, I really want to briefly touch on briefly is short form content. I've grown now that we've been doing more content creation. I've been growing to actually appreciate short form content a little more. I used to not really engage with it at all, but now like I'm starting to go on Instagram Reels and
fun,
shorts, right? YouTube short, and I was like,
it's
oh,
addicting.
This is actually
it plays into the ADD of the population.
yeah, no, it really does. And I catch myself, I thought that I wouldn't fall into that, but I caught myself. I caught myself seeing that I also need 14 different kinds of stimuli all at once.
That's right.
Just a couple days ago, I was playing Dead by Daylight with Nick. He was streaming K-pop videos, which are already seizure in a video all in one anyway, just with the amount of cuts they have.
I have
and
never
I had
seen
a
a
YouTube
K-pop video.
One of the, well, we will have to do a live Howie reaction to a K-pop video. Oh, okay. That's a good video idea.
First time.
Oh, yes.
Spoilers.
And I also had a YouTube video on the side. And I sat there looking at myself. I was like, dude, what am I doing? Why do I have 3 different things going on all at once?
Do you remember like 2013?
A little bit.
And Xbox shows the Xbox One. Mm-hmm. And that's like all it was about was the all-in-one machine. And you used to be able to like watch Netflix while you played games on the same screen on your television. And they took it away. I don't know why.
They knew.
It was like a cool idea, but it was kind of lame because you couldn't adjust like the size of it, and it wasn't just like a little picture in the corner or anything. It was like, we're going to cut out like a fifth of your screen, like this much of your screen, right?
Yeah.
And you had the little tiny video playing right there while you're playing on your Call of Duties or whatever came out at the time.
Call of Duties. On your Call of Duties. Oh, yeah, the Xbox One was kind of just a mistake in general. They really thought they had something there with trying to make it a lot more than just a gaming console, and then turns out that gamers, they just want to game, bro.
Turns out the people who buy gaming consoles want to play video games.
Turns out they do, and with all the weird stuff they had going on with it, they had like Wow. The not sharing games. I remember that. Like you couldn't
Oh, yeah,
share a game.
what's that, DRM? Is that what it's called?
Something like that.
Yeah, they squandered that at the beginning, and then they fired the guy, right? I think
Hmm.
the main dude, and then Phil Spencer took over and became the best thing that ever happened to Xbox, and he still is.
He does a good job.
Do you think we could get Phil on the podcast? Do you think we have enough clout already?
Yeah. Yeah, we do actually. Hey Phil, what's your favorite Xbox game?
I want to ask Phil what his favorite Halo 2 map is.
He'd probably be like, "What's Halo?" He'll be like, "Why are you so obsessed with the 60 FPS?"
I don't think he says that.
Wasn't that him? He had a quote where he was like, "Why are you guys so obsessed with 60 FPS?"
No.
I
I don't
sure
know.
as heck.
Show me the
I sure
source.
as heck was.
Show me the source.
You'll just have to look it up yourself.
I look like
Oh,
I'm in a circus house. The way these two doors look like they're sized next to each other.
you got the clown closet. What would be on your right, and you got the entrance to the mirror dimension. Is that what they call it? The mirror house. That's
Sure.
yeah. That's how I imagine your house, especially with all your different colors. You know, you get back from a long day of work. You sit in your clown closet house, put on your makeup,
Yeah, I gotta look good for the video.
turn on
I
your
have to.
camera. It does kind of look like you got a little dolled up for me tonight. Thanks.
I'll let you believe that.
I just accidentally broke my thing that covers my camera.
You don't need it. Nobody's watching through your camera when you're not looking.
Are you sure?
Just put it face down. Or fall asleep with it in your hands or something. Just cup the mic.
Oh yeah, they could still hear me, huh? No matter what, they could still hear me.
Probably not. I don't think the government's gonna care. Do you have a favorite conspiracy theory? Like birds aren't real or something? I love reading and hearing about conspiracy theories in general. Or just like weird things that happen. And I don't necessarily believe most or all of them, but I think they're fun. There was the one that I actually believe, and I'm going to do a little Google so I get the details correct, but it was called Lake City Quiet Pills. I may have told you about this at one point or another, but
I don't believe. I mean, I don't remember.
there's like this guy in early Reddit. When did Reddit come out? Like 2005?
Something like that.
And he would like post really weird things on Reddit and be like, it sounded like basically what people put together was that he was ex-military of some kind, and he had his own image hosting website like Imgur, or however you pronounce it. But like it all led to like pornographic images.
Okay.
It was really weird. But then
Classic 2005 Reddit.
But like I'm gonna get these details wrong. I know I am, and I can't Google it fast enough. But it was this guy named Milo, and he hosted this website. And like in the back of the website, there was like the source code of it all, right? But like in the source code, it was like basically a chat room, like behind all these like lewd images. And there were these people who would like. This guy would like post on Reddit for years and years and years, and I think in like 2010 or 12ish, he like died or whatever because he's old. People try to date his age based on like what the war or whatever that he talked about he was in, and it would have made him like old, like 60, 70, whatever. And all these people start talking about him, and they're like, we got to throw this party to celebrate Milo because he was such a cool guy and this and that, and I'm gonna go to his house and pick up some stuff. And they end up going to another country, I want to say it's Dubai. That's probably not right.
All the Redditors live in Dubai.
And this is actually linked with a real. I haven't hit the punchline yet, right? So I'm not going to say that. But so this party happens allegedly, and they talk about like budget and stuff on the chat room or whatever. Like they talk about before and after, and they say this is what we spent on all this stuff, and it was super successful night. Milo would have loved to be there. He loved everything, this and that, and it was like at this hotel, and like it was like the actual name of the hotel and stuff. And then it turns out that a like large political figure, his name was, excuse me for saying this incorrectly, Mahmoud al-Mabhouh, who got assassinated at that hotel that day. And so like people basically found out that this chat room is probably like it's long gone, long dead. But it was like a hitman chat room basically.
Whoa.
And like the fact that like all these things happened in the chat room, and like the verbiage was really weird about some things that they would say. The guy got assassinated that day by like allegedly a bunch of people when he was like in his hotel room by himself, and there's no footage of him dying or anything. It's just like he's just like showed up dead because like his guards left to go somewhere to the bar or something.
So hidden behind some pornographic content on Reddit posts.
It was like basically
a hitman chat room. Hiding behind pornography. Sounds a lot like some people we know.
And it was called Lake City Quiet Pills because that's what they talked about, was dispensing Lake City Quiet Pills, which goes to be associated with the Lake City Army Ammunition Plant, which has the tagline, dispensing Lake City Quiet Pills to lousy bastards in need of permanent arrest since 1968.
Whoa. The old Redditor.
Pretty crazy.
Dispensed quiet pills.
That is it, yeah. That is like the one that I believe in the most.
That's incredibly believable. I mean,
yeah, and I'm that was a super butchered way of saying it, and like there's a lot more details. Like I listened to something about it like a year or two ago, and they went on for an hour or two with a lot of detail, and they were very intricate in what they were talking about. Like they didn't have all these weird awkward pauses like I'm having right now, but like there's a lot that goes into it. But that was like the general summary of it. You can always look up Lake City Quiet Pills, listeners, if you want to learn more about it. It's pretty cool.
Wow, that is really cool.
in this amount of time that I've rambled, have you recollected a conspiracy theory, or I don't know, talk to me about true crime? Tell me anything.
Yeah,
that you really like.
Honestly, it's serial killers for me. I think
serial killers are they're interesting to know how they work and why they did what they did and how everything.
Yeah, like I listened to a lot of those. Last podcast on the left, they deal with a lot of serial killers. I think if some folks haven't heard or seen anything on the Toy Box Killer, that one's probably the most insane one. Howie, have you heard about the Toy Box Killer?
I've been meaning. He's been like on my list of things to look up for a long time because I've heard it's messed up. Whatever he was doing.
I'll give you like a short version of him.
Give me the blurb on the back of the DVD case.
Yeah. Oh, Mike's going. I'll give you like just the blurb on it. He was a guy that lived, I believe it was like on the border of Mexico, just right on the borderline for the United States and Mexico. I think around Arizona, I want to say. And just in the more deserty parts, and he got himself a big shipping container and dug it into a hole. And he and a woman, and I want to say it was like her daughter or like another young girl, like 17, 18 or something, and her boyfriend it was the four of them. All were like in cahoots, and what they would do is pick up drifters at those drifter bars. Usually like women that are just doing whatever, just kind of passing through. And the Toy Box Killer's like girlfriend would spike their drinks and then take them to the what he called the toy box, and it was like a saw chair kind of thing. They would strap you. No, sorry, like a saw. Yeah, sorry. It was a gynecologist chair. Is what it actually was.
Oh,
but it was something out of Saw. And when the women would come to, they'd wake up and strapped to it, and he would record them and sell the tapes as snuff films. And what was so creepy about him and weird is that he wouldn't talk to them directly. He would play a recording of himself, telling in great detail what he would do to them and what chemicals and concoctions he's going to be putting in them. Because he was actually incredibly smart with...
Did you say in them?
Yeah. He would like inject them with like drugs, like lots of different kinds of drugs.
Yeah.
And just like in short, he would just do really horrible things. Sometimes, actually a decent amount of time, he wouldn't actually kill him. He would release him because the sheer amount of drugs he would pump through them, a lot of the times they wouldn't even remember what was happening, and he would just dump them out on like the street or whatever. And how he ended up getting caught was a woman that didn't actually quite remember everything was shown footage in a courtroom of herself, and it all came back to her, and it was just like a super messed up story, and it was a crazy situation. But somebody ended up actually escaping the toy box, and that's kind of how he ended up getting caught. And then he rotted the rest of...
When was this?
It was in the 60s, 70s. Or I think it was 70s.
That long ago?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, a lot of the recordings of him talking were
profession?
Destroyed. I don't quite remember. I think...
Because that's really interesting to me. I thought you were going to say something a lot more recent, because I feel like it was a lot more of a privilege to have a camera recorder, like a video recorder back then.
Yeah, he had money. I don't know.
Like, he must have, because I remember when we got our first video recorder, and it was just like a crappy camera thing that we bought, and it was like, you know, it had these little cassette tapes, and it was like, yeah, you can record on this for 30 minutes, and
oh, I remember that.
And it was like, that was like nothing.
I'd film my cat with it. Well, my mom would. I'd barely know how to work
had
the thing.
the little arm that you looked through, and
you're like, enhance. Look at this cat. I'd film my cat.
Toy Box
Whiskey.
Killer. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that was just the surface.
How many victims did that guy have?
Don't quite remember, but it was like in the 10s, maybe 20s.
That's still a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, by serial killer, I don't know what the word is. Averages. That's.
He was one that said
a lot.
He did say too a lot of the times, pretty much all of his victims, that he preferred not to kill. He would, but if they were like too much of a trouble, he would. I guess.
Basically, like if he believed he was going to get caught by letting them live, then that's not happening.
Yeah,
for him.
Probably something along those lines.
That's.
Yeah. But then I think a big reason how he got money was because he would sell a lot of these films. Maybe, I mean, I guess he had to have an upfront investment. But... you know, he had to still pay for the shipping container, pay for this film. But
to be fair,
I'm
also,
sure people were spending money on these snuff films. I bet people were spending dollars.
Oh, yeah. And to be fair, I do think that in the 50s or 60s or 70s or whenever this was, it was like, you could have a moderate profession and be well off. I mean, we hear about houses back then being $20,000, $30,000, and they're worth millions now.
I'm renting like one room. I've been renting one room my whole adult life, and it's always been at least $700 or $800 a month just for like a single room.
Yeah.
So
That's
and
a whole different
you've got
discussion
a
though.
whole house with
I
all
got
these
a
different
whole
colors
mirror
in them.
room
You
house. Smoke and mirrors. I
you
walk through
got
this door and I hope it's the kitchen. I don't know. Who knows where I end up?
you've got paint
Eating
and
is like
eating.
like eating is like a gamble. Like I might go through a door and it's the kitchen. Like if I'm lucky, if I win the lottery.
Yeah, you win the
But sometimes
lottery.
I open my bedroom door and I'm outside. And
It's
then I open my neighbor's door and I'm back inside. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense.
it's amazing how you even get to work. So you can canonically walk into your neighbor's house
No.
through a mirror. No, you can. I'm saying it right now. I'm calling
It's
it.
part of the lore
You
now.
you walk out through that door, the one that you can see. People that are just listening, you can't see this door, but trust me, it's behind Howie. You walk through it into a mirror dimension, and you can go through a mirror and accidentally walk in on your neighbor. Probably doing some sus things.
Like being a toy box killer.
Yeah. Or making scrambled eggs. Oh, I want to reminisce
right.
about when I was starting to get to know you.
I feel like we've just always known each other at this point. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah. No,
Remind me.
yeah, it does.
Tell me.
I think one of my favorite times was easily when I had just started working as a lead, and you came up to me with that burn on your hand.
Oh my god. That was like within my first week.
It was like your first week. My POV. Imagine you're Levi working away on the computer. I had just recently gotten the lead position, and the supervisor's gone. Okay, so I'm kind of the boss around there. Howie comes up to me, shows me this red spot on his hand, and he's just like, I burned myself. Like a toddler coming up and like, I burned myself. And I'm like, is it an emergency or what did I say even? I was probably like, I don't know, what was it? I was like,
I was honestly in a panic because that was honestly the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. I'm pretty sure I said, "What do I do?"
yeah, you were like, what do I do? And then
It was
you said it hurts a lot.
It was like a child who I was pretty sure I was trying to be calm, but inside I was like,
Oh yeah,
"God help me."
you were extremely calm. You were just like, it hurts a lot. It hurts an excruciating amount. And
That sounds like me. Cool, calm, and
I
collected.
didn't really know either, but we had some burn gel in the cabinet thing, so I just
Yeah.
like squirted it on your hand. I was like, I guess I gotta report this.
Yeah. And so because this was my new job at the time, what had happened was
This is the best part.
I got this potato soup right from Safeway. It's called loaded potato soup. Shout out. It's real good.
It is pretty good, yeah.
The instructions on the container say 5 minutes. And I did not know how powerful, how strong,
Oh,
how
those
much I
work
imagine
microwaves.
how much I imagine Oppenheimer is like those microwaves are.
I'm surprised I didn't
Because-
hear like a. I'm so surprised I didn't hear that.
Because the container is plastic, but it is not hard plastic. So as soon as I grabbed it, there was a little bit of give, and that little bit of give made it, you
Kinda
know,
like
the potato soup would rise, and it not leaked. It poured out the side onto my hand, all over the side of my hand, maybe a little bit on the front. Yeah, worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. And now when I make potato soup in those microwaves, I'd put it for maybe 2 minutes. Like, those are so powerful.
Yeah, the work microwaves, I don't know what they do to them. I don't know if they pump them up with some microwave juice or what.
Pretty sure that's where they got the idea from Oppenheimer. It's based on a true story, right?
Oppenheimer got his idea from microwaves. And
It's me.
spilling, he spilled potato soup on his hand.
Yeah.
But like one of the best parts though, like hands down, is when we were doing a Five Whys thing, which our work, where we work at, we got to do the whole thing.
Basically,
whenever an
why did this
incident
happen?
happens,
So
like
we
a
can
why.
prevent this.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I walk in, and this was COVID times. So, like, not everybody was physically present there. But I don't know, basically head of safety, I'll just say that. He's on the phone, like not on a video call or anything. He's just on the phone. There's like a conference call phone on the middle of the table so everybody can hear it. And I walk in, and he just says, "Is the chef going to be joining us today?" And I didn't know where the voice came from. It was omnipotent to me. It just came out of nowhere. Sick. And so I was just like, "Yeah, I'm here. It's me,
it's
Mr. Lizard Hand."
You're all scarred and deformed now. You walk in, you're like, it is I, the man who spilled potato soup upon his hand.
That's right. And so, that's how I became the chef.
Yeah, so for a little bit, we were just calling him the chef at work. It was really funny.
Skin's really weird, too. Like the way water would react to my skin, it was like my skin was water resistant where I got the burn. It would just like, I would be washing my hands and it would not be wet. Like the rest of my hand would be wet, but then just like that.
Whoa.
It's crazy too. Like I have no scarring. There's nothing going on. It's just,
but
it's like nothing ever happened, which is kind of crazy because the amount of pain I felt on the Richter scale was a lot.
Yeah, and that's like your most physically painful, like, experience at all, right? Like
life.
You've had emotionally rougher,
sure,
mentally even, but
I don't know,
physically,
man. Mentally, I was like screaming.
I mean, it sounds pretty crazy, and it sounds like you definitely entered a new chapter in your life when you burned yourself, but wow.
I will be honest, my life from pre to post chef burn is pretty different. So you're not wrong there.
Wow. And that,
Some people, when I say that I talk about the pre times, they think I'm talking about before COVID happened, but it's really before burn. BB.
It's Howie.
We're living in the year 3 BB right now.
Howie.
It'd be 3 AB after burn.
Ooh, we should make a little Bible or like a thing and then sell it as merch. Like a 3 BB Howie Psalm 3. We are all living in BB, post BB. That's AB. One post, or yeah, I guess it would, huh?
Yeah. There's BB or AB. That's it. There's no other times.
You got me thinking about my worst, like, pain I've ever been in. No, yeah, it was, so I was riding a bike, right? And I had just gotten, I was pretty young. I really liked this stuffed bear. And I thought it'd be cool to put him on the back of my bike. Really dumb decision, because all the dirt and water kind of like spews up onto the bear.
That's how tires work.
Stained him, yeah. Stained. I learned how tires worked that day. And I learned how cars work too. I was like trying to show off or something. I think so. And I was like riding. I was like, yeah. I was looking over at my friend on the right, riding my bike. I'm like, what's up, dude? You know, I talked like a surfer dude apparently, and I just was not looking in front of me, And
What are you, like 7?
I had to, but yeah, I definitely was pretty young. I think I even had
Okay.
training wheels still. I had training wheels on my bike for an embarrassingly long amount of time. I won't go
Hey
into
man, we all
detail.
had some.
And I just smack right into the bumper of this like red hatchback car. I remember that it was a red hatchback. And just like and then just hit my face on it and then just like fall down. And maybe it was just because I was young, but I think it was the combination of my bear being super muddy and watery, along with like my busted ass lip and like scraped knees. All of it just all culminated into one horrifying soup of pain. And I ate that soup. I opened
I
up that soup and consumed it.
I
And
think
my
that
mom had to consult me.
I think that you were probably in actually a lot of pain because from what I've experienced in my life is that kids are bouncy.
I probably like boom, boom.
No, they're like they'll bounce back from anything, dude. As long as the biggest thing, honestly, is that when kids get hurt, and you'll see this in nature too. I'm getting real here.
Oh, nature Howie, naturist Howie.
If something happens to the young, the human children, the animal children, whatever, babies, they will look to their.
I just realized animal children. Anyway,
They
sorry.
will look to their parents or pack leaders or whatever.
Yeah.
To see like what am I supposed to do right now? And so like if a kid hurts himself, like falls out of a tree, like a good 8-foot drop or whatever, a little tree in the
just
backyard.
Like scorpions down.
And they look up after they fall and they see that their parent is freaking out or in distress, they're gonna think, I gotta cry, help me.
Oh.
But I've actually seen kids fall out of trees about the same distance, and as long they'll look up, and I've seen like their parents be like they look at the other parents around them, or not parents, but like older people
that are not children,
that are not human children, and they'll say, "Don't freak out," and they'll look at the kid, and the kid will get up and will go, "Yeah, I'm okay," or on the extreme other end, they'll start clapping. They'll be like, "That was awesome!" And the kid will be like, and they'll get happy, dude. And it's just like they can bounce back from anything. So I think, was your mom there?
No.
You said your mom had to console you. Okay, so
yeah, I had to go to my house.
You had no adult supervision. So
there was no.
You were
adults.
actually probably in a lot of pain, I think.
Wow, that really put it all into like mega perspective. Because thinking about it, yeah, like I can definitely think of times when so that must have been why I cried all the time and why I still cry all the time. Because I think last episode I told you my mom's a little bit dramatic. It's probably...
That makes a lot of sense, actually. like from a scientific standpoint, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's science, but you know what I mean?
You made it seem like you see kids fall out of trees a lot. I mean, you've also seen me cry a lot.
I'm no stranger to pain.
Oh, well, clearly not, Chef. You gotta burn off all, like, kind of like how not famous chefs, but just like people that have worked in the cooking industry, like almost never have feeling in their tips anymore.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've worked in the cooking industry.
No.
But I met this one chef guy who he'd get like these fresh hot battered fish sticks. I was going to call them fish tenders. Right out the fryer. And homie would just grab them right out of the hot oil and then like crack them open and be like, that's done. He's a big dude too. He was like a big guy.
What was his name?
Don't
tell me.
I don't remember.
I want to. It had to have been something like Butch or like.
Yeah, probably like Chef.
Like a rugged man name.
Chef. Chef Woods or something. Chef Blast.
That'll do it.
So he'd like crack it open. I was working at like a Oktoberfest one year, and we were serving bangers. You know what a banger is?
No.
It's a sausage. That's all. And
just-
there's a bun. I guess it's a bratwurst. If anything, it's a bratwurst.
Yeah, at Oktoberfest, you don't have sausages.
Yeah, they're bangers. Yeah, we serve bangers.
Is that a German word, banger?
No, I don't know why they call them that. I don't know why they called them that at
Was
that
it on the menu,
Oktoberfest.
or is that just what?
Yeah, so that was the menu. There was bangers, fish sticks, I think chicken strips. And that's it.
I like how everything.
It was a weird menu.
Everything has a normal name, and then you have bangers.
Yeah. I
I feel like it's deceptive. Like if you go up to the Oktoberfest where Levi was working when he was 7 years old,
yeah, it was 7
running
years
into
old.
running into red hatchbacks, he would like.
Hey, sir, can I get you a banger?
No, people would ask, "What is a banger?" And you'd say you have to order it to find out.
You have to order. Ooh, idea for a restaurant. We just have really cryptic names for.
We have to have
things.
rotating cryptic names.
You have to order it to
'Cause
find out.
They can't figure it out. If they want to figure it out, they can go there over the course of one day. They have to go like breakfast, lunch, dinner to figure it all out. But the next day, everything's different. Everything on the menu is an AI generated name.
Oh, that's even better. Yeah, like you'll see stuff like the meat truck. It must be called that.
And
Or-
it's gonna be called AIs, but the font is gonna make it look like it's called Al's.
So people
Al's
come
Kitchen.
to like Al's. Hey, it's Al's Kitchen, and they'll see like
Where's
samurai.
Al? He's on the computer.
He's on the computer, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay. Well, let me just get the samurai sword Tahiki Slam, please." That's just one of the names I think an AI would come up with.
No, you're probably right.
And then it's just like, should the recipes be AI generated?
No, because then we're just
they're
gonna
made with
serve
beef.
slop. We have to have quality food, or people will never come back.
I see. So it's not a social
It's just-
experiment. Like, we're actually trying
No.
to make money.
It's just the names.
I imagined a YouTube video of people doing this for like 24 hours or something.
I almost think we gotta cut this out because people are gonna like steal this idea, bro. No, leave it in, but like,
Yeah, people are gonna steal our AI generated food truck, dude. Don't do it. Or if you
No.
do,
it's
tell
a
us.
full-on
give us some money.
restaurant.
Oh,
It's a full-on
now
restaurant.
we're talking.
Like, it's a
now
dine-in.
we're talking. Now we're eating.
Like today, I'm gonna have the cubicle mirror door salad, but it's hash browns and toast.
With a little bit of sriracha on the side.
Is that part of the title of the food? And there's actually no sriracha.
Yeah,
It's literally just hash browns and toast.
It'd be a really cool date place.
It would.
You know?
I think this has the novelty to actually blow up. I'm
If
quitting
we
YouTube.
get-
I'll talk to you later. man.
If we get famous, we're gonna make that, and then I'm gonna take a famous celebrity to it as a date. You're married, so you don't have to worry about it. But I'll bring like Ana de Armas. You may recognize her from the hit movie Blade Runner 2049.
I don't know
Shout
who
out
that is.
Ana de Armas. Hit me up. I'm single.
I've never seen that movie. I hear it's good.
So she
I hear that
Me and her
podcast guy likes it a lot. Do you know that guy?
that podcast guy.
I'm pretty sure he
Is it
lives
like-
on top of you.
I don't get it. What do you? I was just I was a nervous laugh. I don't know what you're saying. You know how I sometimes nervously laugh
I
when
know.
you tell me things. That was one of them. I don't know. He lives on
I like
top
it.
of me.
Sometimes you laugh and you say yeah, but you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I do that though. That is Levi
our
trademark.
friend Ed, who probably lives above you.
Oh, yeah. Well, he lives in the
Anyway.
same house. 2 2 stories up. Yeah.
So he lives above you.
He lives. Yeah, true. He lives above me. He's too above me for those types of things. But anyway, I'm gonna take Ana de Armas to our restaurant, and then I'm not gonna tell her about it. It'll be like this interesting thing, because I feel like she needs some spicy, sour cream in her life, and I can provide that. I know you don't know who that is.
This is a great spot to say thank you guys for listening to I'm a Podcast, episode 3.
Ana de Armas, if you're listening, please hit me up.
I Am a Podcast material. Thanks and see ya.
Thanks and see ya.